Welcome, Axel. Very glad you are here.
Thank you. Today. I'm happy to be here.
We are connecting. Yes, we are connecting Norway, where I am here now, with Sweden.
Correct, mentor.
And there have been some questionings also that we could do this in English also. There are others who are also interested to hear. And today we're gonna talk about, so the topic is Vedic roots of Norse mythology. Very interesting.
Very.
And you know, first of all, I would like to explain just a little bit what is Vedic knowledge for those who don't know that. And PT Prashant Trivedi, he has explained it so many times. So through his grace, we can explain this word also. So Vedic knowledge is timeless, is knowledge. It's not a religion, it's not a sect or whatever some can think. It's knowledge and it's timeless. So we had this knowledge before in all the earth. So it's not only in India. And PT says that this knowledge, it got divided into different languages, people, tribes, kind of knowledge. It was like cut it and distorted. It took different forms. It got distorted over time, like this Kali Yuga we are in this 5,000 years. Even in India, it got distorted. It became like Hindu and so on, and all around the world. You can expect how much it got distorted here in Europe. And the Vedic knowledge is the knowledge of the multiverse. PT says, Prashant Trivedi, our guru. The knowledge of the creation itself, basically, from the time the creation started. And PT, Prashant Trivedi, is showing us what it is, the original form of the Vedic, through Lotus Ocean meditation, and all his beautiful videos and knowledge he shares with us. So let's go and start to Norse mythology.
Yes.
I know you are an expert. So it's good to have you here. Yggdrasil.
Okay, the world tree.
Yeah, the world tree.
With the 9 words.
Yes.
Yes, there are beautiful depictions of Yggdrasil on internet with Bifrost, the rainbow bridge.
Exactly. I'm going to share it.
Some of the worlds.
Exactly. And I have also one picture here people can see, for example, like here now. We can add some pictures later anyways, but you know, as you can see, we have the different worlds, Oscar, and we're going to talk a little bit after that about Midgard.
Okay.
And so Yggdrasil. So this one, you see the picture, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And there are also many other pictures of the Yggdrasil, for example. This one also, and many more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And about Yggdrasil, you know, this is Norse mythology, right? And today, together, I thought we could like connect this one with Vedic, because as P says, like first it was Vedic, all the world. It was Vedic, one knowledge, like all maths, chemistry, physics, music, everything, all fields were together one. So it must have some Vedic, you know, in Norse mythology too, which I personally also think it's a very Vedic. The Norse mythology is Vedic. So it is a knowledge which was before very obvious and clear to the people who wrote that here in Scandinavia. And So I don't know if you heard where the name comes from, Yggdrasil.
No, please enlighten.
Yeah, they say that scholars they say it's like Odin's horse, one interpretation, and I've gone a little bit deep in that just to see the name. So it's many interpretations. Drasil, like it means the horse, and Ygr is Odin's many names. They say for today. Describes how Odin sacrificed himself by hanging from a tree, making this tree Odin's gallows. But Yggdrasil is the name of the tree, you know, the world's tree, as you said, or ash tree. And I personally think that this means Dru in Sanskrit means wood. So you see, woodin, and it means you have heard maybe the Celtic, they use druids, the druids, right? So the part dra, I think it's quite Yggdrasil. So, but I'm gonna take this to the Brahman, to the universe, or to the so Yggdrasil.
Yes.
Yggdrasil. So the tree, the druid, you know, you see always the druid in the nature, like they are ancient rishis or teachers or guru in Celtic places. It seems like egg in English, right? So I think we have the two words, egg and the dra, the tree, like the world, and the egg. But what is that actually? What has to do this with Vedic? So you have heard for sure Brahmanda, the cosmic egg, or the egg of Brahma in Vedic. So
Yeah.
so maybe it's that. I am almost sure that it has to do with that, because the Yggdrasil, the 9 worlds, and the egg of Brahma, the multiverse. I'm going to show you a picture.
Uh-huh.
I think maybe it has a connection. I am almost sure about that. You see the universe, so it's like an egg.
Yeah.
It's like a form of, it looks like
Loka.
Lokas and the worlds, and which Brahma created, Brahma Anda, and Manda, it's a universe. It's a universe, and so the creation. So Yggdrasil, the Norse mythology, is talking about really about the universe, all of it. And to me, that's what I think. And isn't it interesting that these people, like, they in the Edda, they talk about this, and the Vedic also, Brahman, this because, so you see the world, the egg, the cosmic egg, they called it. We have Brahmanda, Onde. In Norwegian, we have Onde, which means spirit, right? Or Scandinavian.
Yes.
So this great, the spirit which created everything. And mondo, it means world in Latin. Mondo.
Yes.
Or mondo, so Brahmand, and the tree, the cosmic, Yggdrasil. So mondo, the world, or the mind.
Yes.
And you know for sure about Midgarden, since we are talking about Yggdrasil. We have Midgarden there in the Norse mythology.
Yes. They're similar
Right.
to Jambudvipa,
Yes. Yes.
to the flat Earth.
Exactly. So you know about the. So what do you think? Is flat or not?
Yes, of course.
Oh, that's good. Because here in Norway, when I say flat and stuff, like they see me very.
But that's semantic. It gets stuck in the head. This of word. Some words get stuck in the head for people. It's not so much to worry about. It's just how it is. Yeah, you have to explain it that it can be at the same time. The Earth can be round. You can see on the horizon that the Earth is round, and you can have NASA or satellites, or you see that all the planets are round and so on. But at the same time, Jambudvipa, the flat Earth, Midgård, is flat.
Exactly.
And it's at the same time, and there is no contradiction.
Exactly.
Or you can say that there are a tremendous amount of contradictions, but and that creates the multiverse. Anyway, it exists at both time. It's flat and round at the same time. But it's not the same. The Earth is not the same as Jambudvipa, but there are so many similarities with because in south of Himalaya, with where they have made maps of Jambudvipa, they know how the different continents. They know that it's Bharat, Harivars, Haimavat, Mahavidaha, Ramyaka, Hairanyavat,
Yes.
Aivat, and then there are the mountain ranges, Himavat, Mahahimavat, Nisada, Nila, Rukmin, Sikarin, and then the Vaitadyas, and then there are rivers with Ganga and Sindhu, and Harikanta, Sita, Sitoda, Nari, Narikanta, Suvarnakula, Rupyakula, Rakta, Raktoda, and then there is the salty ocean around it, Lavanoda Samudra. And this, the detail, we don't have in Norse mythology. We just speak of Midgård.
Yes.
But what we so it's fantastic that in the Vedic hemisphere that there are maps of these of Jambudvipa. But what is in the Nordic mythology is this with the 9 worlds of the world tree. And that is quite interesting. The 9 worlds.
Yes, exactly. And there is like a good reason for having in Norse mythology where the earth is called Midgard. In Vedic mythology, earth is also in the middle, like Bhumandala, it is called. You've probably heard it. So Midgard, it means the middle abode, in the middle of this Yggdrasil or Brahmand, which is the same thing. It's in the middle. That's why it is called the middle. Mid, it means middle. It is also called Manaheim, home of man, human. The middle earth, so the abode of mankind. Made from the body of the first created being, the giant Argelmir, Ymir, which is actually, the giant Ymir. We're going to talk a little bit about that and the primordial cow, which is also quite related to Vedic, which is actually the cover of the book I have written long ago.
Yeah, excuse me for interrupting, Afrodita. And the way that Ymer is pronounced is different. It might be interesting for the viewers to hear that in Sweden and Denmark, that are so close to each other, and Sweden has 9 million inhabitants, and Norway has maybe 4 or 5, and we are considered to be brother nations, but still we have difficulty understanding each other's languages, and it's just 15 million people, but
Yes.
but for instance, how we pronounce, I would say that the giant's name in Swedish would be, his name is Ymer.
Ymer. I like
Ymer.
that. And is that something, a meaning in Scandinavia? What do you think about that name? Because, yeah.
I don't know, but please tell me how you pronounce it in Norwegian.
Now he has. They called it Ymer. They call it Ymir. They call it in Norse, even in Norse mythology. But when I wrote my book, at least in 2015, the Norse, this one, and I took the picture of Ymir with the Ginnungagap and the primordial cow. Like, I didn't know about so much about it, but in Albanian I can explain that Ymir means, at least in Albanian and Sanskrit, is also, to be honest, quite connected, like also Scandinavian languages, because all of them is Indo-European languages. Ymir or Ymir or Ymer, sometimes with E, sometimes with N. Mir, it means a kind in Albanian, the kindest, the nicest. Mir is the kindest, and something very good. Good. Like, I think the words, I'm linguist and miracles, all these words come from this root, I think. Good things, and to be honest, we have in Vedic Amrit, in the churning of the ocean. We're going to talk a little bit later, and the good Amrit, the nectar. So it's always good, something good. And I think it has a little bit connection with that, the name, the Scandinavian name.
Yes, because when he's drinking from the milk, Ymer.
Yeah, he's drinking from the milk. Yeah, yes. That's a good point.
Amrita, it's similar.
You see, so he's drinking from the milk is the primordial cow, which is, the primordial cow is, it's not normal milk. It's good. It's like Amrit. It's like, so they had
it's like drinking from the milk coming from outside of the Milky Way, exactly. from the
Milky Ocean.
Yes, from the zodiac, and in the zodiac, I don't know what it's called in India, but I know that there is the concept of Kala Purusha,
yes.
of the time person, yes. the body, the man. It's I haven't seen it as a woman, but as a man that stretches out in the zodiac, and this is similar to a standing body with Yggdrasil or Loka or Samsthana meditation, when one meditates on a person standing, having the shape of Loka. And when he's drinking the milk from the Milky Way or from the stars, from the zodiac, Ymer, and then he becomes the Loka.
Yes, because that's very right. Because you know, the beings that came later, they created the world with his parts of the body, which is called in the sacrifice or something like that. Like and
different parts became different.
yeah,
Became
the mountain
the
became his, and the eyes became the sun and the moon, and you know, the parts of his body. So that is very connected to Purusha. They have a Vedic. That's, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. And like we have it like here, the Ime. So it's a primordial being. It's the first one. It's like you know, it's the creation of, you know, Parashakti in a way. If we gonna relate it to the Vedic, it's very, very interesting how these connections, like but also like Midgarden, it is in the middle of the Yggdrasil as in the Norse mythology. But in Vedic, we have also the earth. In Vedic cosmology, the earth is called Bhumandala. Bu Devi is the goddess of earth. And I have studied this a little bit. I can tell a little bit more. But before we move to that, I can show you the picture. The picture that you know, the Bhumandala is in the middle of the whole universe. Bu. And this was the turning I was going to show you, but we can talk a little bit about that a little bit later. But you know, in the Bhumandala, or in the Brahman, the universe, we have Burlok. Okay, Bu, it is called the goddess of earth. So it is in the middle also. So the earth is in the middle. So earth, together with 7 planes above and 7 planes below, it's 14 planes of existence in Vedic.
Yes, 14 realms.
14 realms, yeah. And the funny thing is that Burlok, the earth, it is the same. And Norwegians, or not Norwegians, Scandinavians, and the Norse mythology, it has Midgard. It is in the middle. So they knew the earth is in the middle of the universe, in a way.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing? I found that amazing also. And yeah, and so I think they knew, not just because of that, but you know, this bu in the linguistic term, the bu is quite Norwegian to me, or Scandinavian, you know, and actually, you know, bu in Vedic, bu is Bu Devi, goddess of earth. All right, and we have in Norwegian, as we discussed in the first part, we talked Norwegian and Swedish. So we have in Norwegian bu. It means to live, to stay, or to dwell.
Same think, yes.
Same. You see, we say, where do you live? Hvor bor?
Yeah, it's the same in Swedish. Var bor du?
Hvor bor du? Yeah, bu, it means to live. So where do you live? You live on earth. And we use also some other, like bolig, house, residence. It means house. So it's like earth, your home.
Yes. Or German, and in German you say never mind. No, it was a wrong association.
They use Heimat also, like as we use it. But Bosette we use also. It means to live. Where do you reside, settle? So this bu, or we use a lot here in Scandinavia. Beboer, inhabitant, earther. So you see the connection of that. This root is actually quite Scandinavian, this Bu, which is the goddess of earth, Budevi in Vedic, because it's actually, it is in primary, I think in Swedish. We use the word for creation or the beginning. We use, or you use, Borja. I have actually talked about this in my book. So it is like, it is documented. Like from before. I'm going to show you. You use Borja, right? In Swedish, it means, in Swedish it means, in Swedish it means börja, Borja. Börja, it's in Iceland. Borja, it means start, beginning.
Yes.
Can you pronounce it in a proper
Börja.
way?
Börja.
Borja, yes. And so, and we have in mythology also. So this Bu, it's like Vedic, but quite used in Scandinavia, even today, right? We use this word Burja, or because in so Ymir, the being, the primordial being, would pass the time by drinking the milk from Audhumla, or the primordial cow, and Audhumla would lick a salt block, which eventually took the form of Buri, the first of Asur. So you see in the picture. So after that, so Bul, it's Borya. So this root is, so it's Sanskrit, so Vedic, very connected. So you see, and it's Borya. So that the root is from Bu, Borya, and in English it means to be, to be, Bu, to create, creation. So about earth, of course. So it's quite connected to the goddess of earth, which is known from before. You see.
Yeah.
But let's go. Yeah.
I have a few things that in relation to Yggdrasil and Midgård. Jambudvipa, which is the name of the flat earth, also. Jambu is a pink apple tree.
Tree.
So Jambu, the Jambu continent, the Jambudvipa, the pink apple tree continent, or the pink apple tree island, is another name for Midgård. And when you mentioned that the Yggdrasil is considered to be the ship of Odin. Odin to me is he is a rishi.
Yes.
He lives in the forest.
Yes.
And when you are in the forest, it's like you're using the trees as different,
like druids.
Yes, and there is also there is a particular ship that is called Bladnir. You take the leaf of a tree, and Bladnir, it's a magical ship, so it can expand, and it's also as small as a leaf, so you can put it in your pocket.
Yeah, magic.
Yes, and it's still a ship. But when you come out on the ocean, and you come out on Ägir, Lä, the ocean, havet,
yes,
then the Nordic mythology switches. Then it becomes monotheistic, and then it's only Odin.
yes.
Odin, only God. But there are many asuras, many different giants, and Ägir, Ran and his wife and the 9 daughters,
Exactly.
the ocean waves, the ocean currents that go all over the earth. And then the ships on the ocean, they are called the horses of Aegir.
Yeah.
Of the giant known as the ocean. So on land you have the 9 worlds in Yggdrasil. And on the ocean you have the 9 daughters of Aegir. And that is on the ocean currents. If you look at the whole world, the whole planet, you can see the big ocean currents as 9. So there are 9, and that's on the ocean, and then on land. So it's a big difference when you enter a ship. But it's still 3, because the ships in the Viking ships, they were made of 3. So it will still be Yggdrasil.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good connection. Very good connection. Yes, they made the ships and connection with the ocean and all of the plane with waters, with oceans, with wood. So it has that connect. But Dru, it means also in Sanskrit, it means wood. So you see wood. We're gonna talk a little bit about Woodin. He's so very famous. And after that, a little bit about Thor. It's very, Thor, it's like no one all over the world. The thunder god Thor, Thor, got Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is also very Vedic to me. That is, you have for sure heard about Indra, the king of the Devas, the king of the Devas, godlike deities, and the king of Svarga, heaven, Svarg, or Sverige. We know the worlds above, the worlds above the earth. I can show you in the so we have Svarglok also. So we have the earth in the middle, Midgard. We have Buvarlok up, and above it we have also Svargalok, so Indralok, or heavenly planet. And the connection was very something like, or Valhalla, or there are so many very nice stories about it. But Indra is in the Vedas. He has the power of rain, the thunderstorms, being the deva of rain. He wields the Vaira, the thunderbolt, which is called in Norse Mjolnir, but in Vedic it is called Vaira, the thunderbolt. And I have actually the picture here. I think it's very, very Vedic, this one, because Indra is seen in Vedic, is seen with the elephant. Where is it? That's here. I found it. in the Vedas, here, yeah. And like I can show you, Indra, it's this one. So he also wields the thunder, Mjolnir in Norse, or in a Thor, which is very famous. And even the Thor pulls also there is one particular story, maybe you've heard, the slayer of a demon. So Indra is called also the slayer of demon, Vritra. Vritra is a Vedic serpent, and the Thor also in Norse mythology. Thor pulls the serpent from the water, and The two face each other. Jormund Gandr is blowing the poison. So they have the, you know, the poison from the snake, or we have both stories, like in different, both in Vedic and both in Norse mythology. I can show you the picture, actually. I have it here. Like this one is in Norse. This one. So, you know, Indra fighting with a snake, with some kind of demon. Okay, here in, this is the Norse Thor, like Thor with the snake, he wins. And in Vedic, we have the story of Indra fighting with the snake, the story. So the same.
Yes, I just recollected a thing related to Jambudvipa and Midgård and Bumundala, and that is that it looks like the full, like the disc of the full moon.
Yes.
It's written that it looks like the disc of the full moon. This world.
The Bumandala, you mean, or the?
Yes, the Bumundala.
Yeah. In the Bumandala we have both the moon and the sun. Like.
Yes, but it looks like it.
Oh, it looks like, yeah. And that's why it's called moon. The moon, Mondo, Brahman.
Yes, and this when you drink the moon, you drink soma.
Oh, yeah.
So, and soma means moon.
Yeah, Chandra, and yeah.
Also, Mona, like Ymer, when he's drinking the milk.
Yeah.
It's like he's drinking soma.
Yes, Amrit, Umrit,
Yeah.
Amrit.
Yeah, but there is a difference between soma and amrit. I don't know the difference.
Yeah, I think that's a difference.
I don't know which I would prefer.
Yeah, soma is
Norse mythology. We have mjöd.
Yeah.
Mjöd. Many people think that mjöd and beer is the same thing, which is not. It's a very big. Mjöd is the celestial nectar. It's the brew of the devas and asuras.
Indra, yeah, the devas in Svardlok, yeah. Indra, they said they drink it, yes. That's why it calls Mjol. That's very good connection with the Vedas, actually. Mjolnir, it's here, and yes, that's right. He drinks that and gets power to make the thunderbolts, you see?
Yes.
And that's why it is called Mjolnir. Mel, it is söt, eller, yeah. And Amrit, it's also, but Amrit is most from the ocean, you know, in the churning of the ocean, the Amrit and the nectar. So it is.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So soma is from the moon. But when you look at the constituents of the water of the ocean, you have H, which is hydrogen, which you find in the sun and in the stars. Mm-hmm. And then there is O, that is oxygen, and that you find in the moon. So with the churning of the ocean, it's like the sun and the moon create the water, the ocean. So then
the nectar
ocean,
in the water, yes.
So the ocean becomes the Amrita, as you said.
Yes, and the sun and the moon, very nice. It means also the sun, moon energies we have in the body, or the balance.
Yeah.
Balance, always the turning. That's good connection, actually. And so you see Thor, and also the Thor, it's connected. Indra has Guru Brahaspati, you know, which is Jupiter, which is the name for Thursday in English. Thursday, or Torsdag, you know, in Scandinavia. Thor. It's dagen. The day is Thor, known as the Grahaus, the planet of Thor is Jupiter is the Graha of Thor, of Thursday.
Yeah.
And so you see they are quite connected because Jupiter is Brahaspati, the guru of Indra, of Thor in a way. And Odin, yes. Odin, scholars associate Odin with wisdom, quite with healing, with death sometimes, with royalty, gallows, knowledge, war.
And with the runes?
Yeah, with the runic alphabet, yes. With poetry, sorcery, victory, frenzy. His name is called in Germanic mythology also, because like Scandinavian languages are also called North Germanic also sometimes. So in paganism or Germanic mythology also, in Old English it's called Woden.
Yes.
Odin, the same. Wodan, Old Frisian, is called Veda. Veda.
Oh.
And the day of the week, since Thor is about Thursday, so the day of the week of Odin, or connected to Odin, is Wednesday. Wednesday bears his name in many Germanic languages, including English also. So Mercury, Mercury, the planet or the Graha.
Onsdag, Odens dag.
Onsdag.
Yes.
Yeah, Onsdag. So and Mercury is same as Mercury, like when Mercurio in Balkanic or Latin languages, Mercury is Wednesday. And Mercury is, the planet, the Graha of language, communication, in astrology also, like knowledge. So Woden, it's like, so we see here like immediately the word Veda. I don't know, do you see me? Yeah, like this. Veda. Wood. Wood also means the tree, so we go back to the knowledge of the multiverse or something like that. But just to connect it with languages, so you see that in Norway we say, so this was about Odin, with also has to do with the runic alphabet or knowledge, and Woden, or that name, the Veda, we use in Norwegian at least, also in Swedish for sure. We say, as we talked about, we say ovita, or vitende. Ovita in Norwegian means to know. So knowledge. Viten, it means knowledge, science, wisdom, vita. So this word is quite Veda, and we have the system of knowledge, which is Ved, which Pete talks a lot about that. So you see, it is used. So this is very clear connection to Vedic, And Odin is portrayed also as the ruler of Osgard, the leader of Asir. So we have in Veda, no, in Vedic we have Sur and Asur, right? Sur and Asur in Vedic, right? But in Norse mythology, we have they're called the Aesir.
Yes.
These are the good guys, or the devas, and these are the beings which they are like against multiversal laws or something like that. We have them in the Norse. We have Asir, so you see the same. It's like the same in Norse mythology. The Asir are the gods, actually, and there is always a war between Asir and Vanir. You know, Asir and Vanir, these two. In the Eddas, the word Asir is used actually for gods, and we have also the Jotnar, which is the giants and stuff. So you see the it's quite Vedic, like it's quite Asir, and we have Asuras in Vedas, and in the Vedic stories where the Devas, the gods, they always fight with the Asuras in the stories. And Norse mythology uses exactly the same, Asir. So it is the same, to me, at least, right? The gods but sometimes Odin, you know, sometimes Odin is seen with one eye in mythology.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes so Odin is very complicated, I think, character in the Norse mythology, right? And
Yes.
with the raven. So I think they have mixed some grahas or planets energy, or you know, gods, like raven with Saturn, and with one eye the Venus guru Shukracharya. And actually Odin is married. Yes.
Yes, a few years ago I had this mushroom. I ate it, the red and white one, flugsvamp, the flyer. And after that, I saw Odin many times and heard his voice many times.
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
He is so quick in the way he talks. He's so quick. His rappers, they have nothing up on Odin because he is so quick. He's like a rapper. Yeah, but he's so accurate with the words at the same time.
Wow.
He's hilarious. His humor is you start laughing like anything.
But what did he say or something? What? In Swedish?
Yes, in mother tongue. Yeah, he said, I don't recollect right now, but it was small minor things, and it was like that. I don't know if I made this up my own or if it was the case, but it's like Odin, he's coming back in 2024. Odin is coming back.
Wow.
Yes,
that's amazing.
He's been out on a journey for a long time, and now he's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back in a way. We are talking about him.
And also where I spend my summers mostly is called Odensala. Onsala. It's in Halland, and between Norway and Denmark on the Swedish coast.
Yeah.
And there they have something called Mönster. It's like a map of the flat Earth of Jambudvipa or the Bhumundala.
Wow.
Yes, I invite you to come, and we can
come.
have. It's fantastic because it has been a big Vatnajökull, a glacier that has been melting.
Oh.
So it has particular shapes, and outside there are islands made of sand and stones.
Wow. So interesting.
So, yes, and there is by the old church where I was baptized. Actually, they used to have a cult place for Odin.
Oh.
So it's called Odensala, Odin's hall, the hall of Odin, which is also Valhall.
Oh yes, that's very famous. In movies also. That's
Yes, nowadays
the
but
Thor movie also lately also. I saw it
yes,
in cinema.
yes,
With
every violence. So they make the Vikings as
yeah,
violent idiots, which is not true.
which
But
is more ancient than that, right?
yeah, they had knowledge. They had knowledge, and they had a lot of knowledge and occult knowledge. But that's how it is on television. Violence looks good on television. That's why they so much on television.
Exactly. And Odin, sometimes we see him with one eye. It seems like they have in Vedic Shukracharya, or the guru, very knowledgeable being in the Vedic mythology too. So which is connected to Venus. And Odin in Norse mythology is married with Frigg, the queen of Asgard.
Yes.
Right? With the queen. And Frigg it's like or Freya, Frigg. I mean the queen. I mean this is like it's connected to Lakshmi, I think, in Vedic, the name at least, or Freya, which comes the word Friday in English, or Fredag with us in Scandinavia. Fredag, the connection at least, or Aphrodite, Aphrodite.
Freya.
Freya. So we have that. So that's why I think the connection with the Venus sometimes, and even with the raven, the birds. We have. I have it actually here. The Odin here, Odin with in different forms. So it's quite a complicated and unstudied, I think, Odin here in Scandinavia. like this one, like he has, with one eye, and power, and the raven also, which is actually quite connected to Saturn in a way. So it has quite a lot of different energies, but mostly with knowledge or communication, the runic and Mercury, Odin, Wednesday. It's quite amazing, very interesting, very interesting. I would like to talk a little bit, if you don't have more about Odin. It was very interesting what you shared.
No, it's that Odin. One reason why he's so funny is because he can't see properly.
Yes.
So he is like half blind. So therefore he can be hilarious to listen to, because he misses out things, and so, and there is a particular art form of jesting, of making fun and making laughter. It's called to yukla.
Oh yes.
And Odin is he's the chief of the Yuklana. He's the funniest guy in the room.
And they say that he gave his eye for he sacrificed his eye for gaining more knowledge.
Yes, and I yeah, I've spent so much time down there, Odensala, and these historical places. So I think that he actually sacrificed his eye to see the whole Bumundala.
Yes.
That you can say that the Bumundala is his eye, or that he sacrificed his eye to get knowledge of the Bumundala.
Yes. This is also quite Vedic in a concept, because we have, Vishnu and Shiv, Shiva, the Lord of the third eye, who, can see everything, what happens, not only on Earth, in all the Bhumandala, but all the universe. So, this eye and the observer. For example, Vishnu is also called the observer of the ocean, on the ocean of consciousness. So this ocean of turning, this is like not only happen on our oceans, it's like, of consciousness, of higher realms. And talking about the turning, according to the Eddas in Scandinavian, Midgard will be destroyed at Ragnarok, very famous. Ragnarok, the battle and the end of the world, right? Jormungandr, as known as the Midgard serpent or world serpent, will arise from the ocean and poisoning the land and the sea with his venom and causing the sea to rear up and lash against the land. It's called in Ragnarok. Many movies about that also here I've seen in the Viking also. They have mixed a little bit, but anyways, there are some truth in the movies also. And in Norse mythology, the Midgard serpent is a large sea serpent or worm who dwells in the world sea, encircling the earth, Midgard, and biting his own tail, which is an example of Ouroboros. As a result of this, of it surrounding Midgard, the earth, it is referred as the world serpent. So he releases his tail in a Ragnarok, the final battle of the world. So this is in Norse mythology. So Ragnarok and turning of the ocean, we have in Vedas and Piti's book, Rahu and Ketu. I have it here. So first of all, turning of the ocean, and P has explained it. You have for sure seen the Rahu Ketu of Piti, of Prashant Trivedi.
Yes.
The book, very, very interesting. It's amazing.
A classic.
Amazing book. And so the turning, for example, here, like in the picture, which the turning of the ocean, like here we have the Asur, the gods, and the Asur. There, you see the turning of the ocean. So the ocean, and
yes. So Afrodita, this story, I think it to Tallinn, the capital of Estonia, where they have the mountains there. They are almost 3 billion years old. It's among the oldest on the planet. And then and then in Tallinn there is a particular mountain that comes up that looks like it could be the top of Meru.
Mount Meru?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it looks like that particular mountain goes down very deep into the center of the earth, down to Antarctica. But what I was thinking of was that
about the turning.
Yes, yes, the churning, and for an example to show how important this place is, when the Christian Crusades were taking over in Scandinavia, Tallinn, which means the Danish city, it was called Lindannisse, which is considered to be where the ancient giant Fornjuten was buried by his wife Linda. That's why, and he was the father of Kore, which is the wind, and Le, the ocean giant, and then Loke, which is Loka.
Yeah.
And and in Tallinn, when the Crusaders were fighting the Vikings, it was the last stronghold of the Viking culture in all of Scandinavia. At one time, the Danish flag fell down from the sky.
Oh.
And the Danish flag, red and white, it looks like a magic mushroom, the Flyager mushroom, the red and white mushroom, very potent. But anyway, that is the oldest flag still being used. It's 800 years old.
Oh.
This happened in 1219 or something. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe the churning of the ocean is related to Tallinn.
Maybe, maybe. But in the story of Norse mythology, so it is quite, as I told you about the snake, I can show you the picture. So this Ouroboros, and P also talks in the book about Ouroboros. You know, the snake which eats its own tail. I can show you here in the picture, like this one, you know. And we see also the tree, which is Yggdrasil. Or
Yes.
actually, this is about, you know, the snake, the world snake, which is down, like, which holds like the earth in a way, stable or something like that. And that is in very different ways is shown in like here we have in the Yggdrasil, we see the snake here also eating its own tail down, like here, Jormungand, the Midgard serpent. So we have, this is quite Vedic, like in Norse mythology, and it's very interesting how they use like the same concept in stories. But if we go to the churning of the ocean in the Vedic, we see a lot of details also, a lot of details. And in Pitti's book, which is the Rahu Ketu, especially this one here, which is an amazing book, by the way. It's a lot of revelations there from P. The Rahu Ketu experience. We see the Ouroboros the same, which
Yes.
Norse also they used the serpent of Midgard. And Pia explains he's also very nicely the churning of the ocean in a way. And you know, the churning, we have the asuras in two different, you know, one is holding the head, the others are holding the tail, and you know, so and the Midgard, so we have the two both and the middle Midgard, and the churning is in a way psychologically it happens like in us also, you know, when something is shaking. And be so kind to spread, you know, you have heard about lotus ocean meditation, which I also teach in different languages, and many other more through Pitti's grace, the meditation. So you see the word meditation and mid. So this is a very ancient root. Medi. Meditation. You see it right. Meditation. They have the medi. So yeah, middle is the same, like like Midgard. Midgard. So
Yeah.
Midgard in the middle, and the word meditation, which PT teaches us, it comes from meditation, comes from the word medi, which means in the middle. So the churning, or since we are talking about the churning, and medi, it means being in the center. So that is all about the churning, to have balance, to be in the center. So that is, for example, you have heard, the Lotus Ocean meditation, which he kindly teaches us, and that is a discipline of being in the center, in the body, having a centered posture, speaking from the center of the mouth, connection with earth, grounding with elements of nature, and the basics, which PT teaches in many languages. So in the journey we have also the poison besides the amrit. The poison which Shiva or Shiv, he took it to save the universe. And in a kind of way, this meditation, or centering the physical body and controlling the mind and speaking from the center of the mouth, it is helping a lot if one wants to be safe in one's journey. In a way.
Yes.
And you are invited in the classes of, I'll open a new group soon. If you want, you can join Lotus Ocean meditation.
Yes, that would be very good. I just thought of it also.
Yeah, you're welcome. And
Thank you.
yeah, very, very welcome. And we have also Bifrost.
Yes.
Very famous. Very famous.
Yes.
In Norse mythology, Bifrost is the rainbow bridge that reaches between Midgard, Earth, and Asgard, the realm of the gods. The bridge, so the connection. So written in 13th century by Snorri Sturluson, and
Yes.
in the poetry of Skalds, both the poetic Edda and the prose Edda, they refer to Asir's bridge, Osbru. Heimdall is the one who keeps watching for the invaders, the one Heimdall.
Yes.
Yeah,
and the helm. And
yeah.
and Hjelmdaller, the guardian on Bifrost, he can see so well that he sees the grass grow.
Yes.
And he hears so well that he can hear the fur on the sheep grow.
Oh, his senses are very evolved.
Yes, seeing and hearing.
Yeah, because he has to watch out. Not everyone is accepted to come to or to take the Rainbow Bridge. Right? And that's what the Asuras, they want to destroy it, or they want to keep it. Asuras, or the giants, or against the gods. But this is this is Bifrost. Actually, I have the picture of Bifrost, the Heimdall, this one here. It's very interesting how this knowledge is in Norse, but to me this is also quite Vedic. We have this here, the Bifrost, and here too, and this way. and the Mount Meru, I have it here, which you were talking about, the Mount Meru in the Vedic universe. But Bifrost, how is that connected to Vedic? Do you have any idea?
That's a very, very good question.
Yes.
I think it's also based on that experience when I had taken this mushroom.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I saw a cascade of rainbows.
Really?
It was like 10 or 15 or 5 or 10 rainbows in a same, like in a line. It looked like a pipe.
Oh.
And it was going down into the ocean at this particular place where there used to be a Vatnajökull,
Oh.
where a glacier would go out, and it's just down there by Odensala. So and that is on one part of the globe, that it goes from Odensala, and the oldest lighthouse that has been inhabited, called Nidingen, that has the shape of an Om. It looks like an Om.
Oh.
And from there it goes up to the North Pole.
Okay.
And then from the North Pole it goes down into the ocean, in the Pacific Ocean.
Interesting. Interesting.
I think there are two sides of Bifrost. Um, and many of the stories that are described in the Vedic story and pantheon of
The colors and all the.
yes, those two parts are described, but in different manners. So it, but I think that Bifrost is actually a physical part on the globe. It's like it exists on the globe. And then
I found the picture of Regnbue rainbow bridge in Norse. Yeah. Yes, this one, the with the Yggdrasil, so it's like connection of down and to the gods.
Yes,
Yeah.
but because India as a country, where Vedic culture is known to have been the strongest throughout ages, they are not so close to the actual Bifrosts, to the actual rainbow, or I don't like to call it a rainbow, because I think it's different, but so I think that the main two rainbows are one that goes from Sweden up to the North Pole, and from the North Pole down to the Pacific Ocean. That's my opinion.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And I was also thinking myself, how is this Bifrost connection to the Vedic like? And I do also like meditation, and I've studied many years about the chakras. The chakras, and which is quite yoga and stuff here in Norway since I was 20 years. Since I was 20 years here, so I think, at least I think, the connection is because Vedic, or which is called today in India most known, but the chakra knowledges, and the chakras, they have all the different colors, so to connect with rainbow colors, because it is called the rainbow Bifrost. The heart chakra is called in there it is called anahata, which serves, as many says, also it serves like as a bridge between the physical energy of the first three lower chakras and the spiritual energy to the next three chakras over. So the rainbow bridge is also called Antakarana. I can show you a picture just for fun. And maybe that can be also an interpretation with you know, we have the chakras, which are as you also said, the multiverse is like when you sit in a meditation posture in the beginning, and the chakras are like all the colors of the rainbow, of course. So the rainbow bridge is like connection to the lower physical or the lower chakras with the higher chakras through the heart chakra, which is the green chakra, which is with you know, like the grass or the trees, green. Maybe that can be a connection to it, like evolution of the spirit. That is also like in Bifrost, they are also showing how to evolve, how to get to heaven, how to get to real to the realm of, you know, gods, or the realm to evolve from human to evolve in a way. Maybe they have showing it through Bifrost, because it's not easy. Not everyone can join the Bifrost. So it's like a rainbow body one has to attain. And we see, maybe you have seen Piti with so many rainbows. After I met P, I have seen like so many rainbows that I can't even count them anymore. We see Piti with rainbows so many times.
Yes.
And even his book in Norwegian, it is also in Swedish. Matthias has made it very, very nicely. And this, but we have this is in Peace Gita. It is in Norwegian too, which is called Peace Saga, which Maria gave the name. Also with that's with saga, like, you know, saga, Edda, like the Norse mythology. So we also chosen here the picture of P with the rainbows, as many other times we've seen P with the rainbows. So it's like, you know, the rainbow Bifrost. It's and it's very interesting. But in the churning, since we are talking like that, which is funny, which I think, which we discussed a little bit, you know, we have in the churning, not in the churning, but in Norse mythology, we have Skoll, Old Norse Skoll, the one who mocks, and Hati, right? In Old Norse, the two wolves.
Yes.
Yeah, the two wolves were mentioned in
that are chasing the sun and the moon.
Yes.
And in the summertime, because of their fur, they have to stop, and so they become tired. So the days become longer in the summertime, and in the winter time, the fur is helping them to keep a good energy in the snow. So then the days become shorter because the wolves run faster, and when they catch the sun and the moon, they eat it up.
Yeah, exactly. That is how it's shown in Norse mythology. I have the picture here actually. That's exactly what you said. That is shown in. It's like here, the two wolves chasing the moon and the sun. You know, like this, or Skoll and Hati. You know, you see always the moon and the sun, like with the two wolves, which this is in Norse mythology. So what is about Vedic? So we have Rahu Ketu.
Yes.
He has explained very nicely about how they also create the eclipses, the eclipse of the sun and the moon. So Vedic knowledge, when the Earth is flat, and you know, these two Rahu Ketu, there are two grahas or two planets, which are called Rahu and Ketu, you know, for sure. And they call the eclipses the real eclipses. So I mean not the NASA or what we have taught in school, but we see that ancient Scandinavian, they knew about eclipses. They were quite smart people, because in that time it was Vedic. It was Vedic knowledge. I mean, it was connection. We see like it's all the legends, and they wanted to show that eclipses of the sun and moon, of the two planets, Rahu and Ketu in in Norse mythology. It's amazing how they have it in the and Rahu. So it sounds like Rahu and Ketu, the two wolves. It sounds like Rahu and Ketu causes eclipses, which PT has explained perfectly in many videos and his book. And
yes, but there is a difference, and that is Rahu and Ketu. They are cut by Vishnu's disc,
yes.
his chakra that he has on his finger.
Yes.
But in the Hati and Skjöld, there are two wolves.
Yeah.
So
but they are always like connected to each other, even in the legends. I can show you here with a picture. You will see. You know, we talked about Ouroboros, and you know, so there's like, for example, here, like both. You see it here?
yes.
So both sun and moon, and even the sun and the moon rotates like around the Earth, around the Earth, in the center with a polar star.
Yes, but in the story of the journey of the ocean, in the beginning, Rahu and Ketu is the same. Yes, but
yes.
And then they are, as a punishment, they are thrown out to become the Rahu and Ketu
yes.
shadow planets.
Yes.
But I don't know how Hati and Skjöld was created.
This was just to show in mythology how who causes the eclipses, because when you eat for example, if Rahu comes in front of the moon, it's the same as he's eating the moon.
Yes.
Yeah,
so he's
in eclipses.
Soma.
Or the Ketu.
Hati and Skjöld was drinking Soma.
Yes, that's why they became grahas or planets. They got Amrit.
Yes.
They got the Amrit. So they are quite powerful, even though they got cut it from Vishnu. And P has also explained in many videos about the churning and the eclipses and stuff. That's where I have learned that about Rahu and Ketu, and in the book also. It's very amazing knowledge, and it seems like it, and we see it is inside Norse mythology. So these beings who created Norse mythology, they had a Vedic knowledge. So because Norse mythology to me is just one part of Vedic knowledge, as the other part of languages and so many things. But the last thing, if you have time,
yes,
it is about the primordial cow, because in the beginning we talked about you know, the primordial cow, Ymer. They were Niflheim, Muspelheim in the beginning, the realm of ice and fire, so elements of nature we see here in the Norse mythology. And between them was Ginnungagap, or the void, where the heat and the cold from these two realms, they met, and which steam was created, which collected in Ginnungagap and created Ymir, or which we got the connection with Amrit with the Vedic. So the first giant, and Audhumla, the first cow, the primordial cow. And, you know, since they were the first, you know, the beings, and Ymir was, by drinking, as you also said, Audhumla's milk, and Audhumla is the primordial cow. So we see in how is this connected to Vedic, right? Vedic mythology. We have Gaumata. You have maybe heard?
No.
Gaumata is the name for Holy Mother Cow, Mother Cow, which is also called Mother Earth.
Okay.
Yeah, in Vedic. I have here the Gaumata, the picture. I'm going to show you. And usually we see sometimes in stories with, for example, here with Krishna in Vedic. We see always Krishna. Gopal is also called, you know, with a cow. So this is called Gaumata. One of the pictures. There are so many pictures.
Oh.
A holy cow. You know, there's and Ymir was with a holy cow. It's quite interesting, this connection, because actually in Illyrium we have many mosaics where we have a being with a cow always. This is called Orfeo. Maybe you have heard. It's like 4,000 years old. In ancient, in Albania too. Today even it is stored. But why I said this, because this is in Norse mythology, and Earth, as Piti says in his book Peace Gita, or Peace Saga in origin, the cow is very connected to Earth. Gau, it's called in Sanskrit. It means also earth. It means senses. It means goddess of earth. It means also the cow. Gau, cow, the same. And in Norse mythology, we have Fjordgun. Fjord, Gun. Fjordgun. It's quite interesting. This one, Fjord. It's finished. Fjord, Gin. Anyway, Gin is the cow. Gigau, Kuen, Kua in origin. And so it's same as the Gaumata, and Urkuen is called in Norse. And Gau, cow is also Gaia in Greek mythology. Gaia, it's the same as Earth, goddess of Earth, which is the same, the cow. And even the word geography, geology, all this geo, it's the cow. I have made many videos about that, but the point here was to say about that. This is also a good connection between the primordial cow and in Norse mythology. And if you remember the Sami, Samiske folk, these Sami people which live in North, they have they have also the cow, and that is called almost the same as in Gaumata. That is called Mataraka. I'm going to show you in my screen. In Sami, the one with those eyes in the north of Norway or all Scandinavia, Sami people, in their mythology, because I've studied their mythology also. In their mythology, they have a cow which is called Mata Raka. Okay. And I don't know if you see it here. I have made a video actually about that long ago. But Mata Raka. So Sami, it's like North, Scandinavia. So we have Gaumata and Mataraka. I think the word mat, which means food in Norway, or spisa mat comes from mata, Gaumat, because the cow is the holy cow, is same is the fractal of earth. And where do we get food? From earth. We use also a jordmor in Norwegian. Jordmor.
Yeah.
Jord, yes,
Jord
and mother, like Mata is also mother. I mean, who gives you food when you are born? Mother, or mat. Mataka, the mother cow. So Sami and that. But there is also the Authumla. We have it in Norse mythology. It's the same. Because the earth and cow is everywhere in the world. Same symbol in mythology and in languages too, because so it's quite Vedic. Krishna is with the cows, and the avatars with the cow. We see also Piti with the cows and calves, many of his videos. But yeah, so actually in Sanskrit, go is the cow, or gau, and so the land or earth, it's quite connected to the cow. If you remember the word bakken, which means ground, in the ground we have the G, which is the cow, gau. So bakken means all the languages. I have taken many languages, even in Norway or Scandinavian languages. Most of them is used. The root is the cow, bakke. It means the ground. It means bi, bli, ku. Ke stands for the cow, ko. And even Italy was called, before it was called Italy, it was called Vitulus, which means land of cows. And Vitulu, yeah, land of cows, Vitulu. And the V, the Greeks came later, they took the V by wars and stuff, so it became Itulus, which means Italy of today.
And Roma, it's like when the cow
Yeah. Yeah, and the ones who created Italy, it was Illyrium, like aberration, so where I come from. It's why I know the story also. And someone told me this, actually, I didn't know before. And so, but the point is that they, before, when it was Vedic, all earth, all lands, okay, they knew about the connection of symbolism of cow and earth. It was the same. That's why you use, for cleaning the earth before we cultivate, we use the cow. On earth, the smell, you can, in the summer especially, we hear I can see it often here in Norway, at least. So this was about and the Taurus, astrology, right? So the Taurus is
yes,
the symbol of, has a symbol of earth, and Taurus means the ox, or
yes,
or a cow in a way. And
yes.
yeah, so the earth, the element is earth. So everywhere, the cow, earth, ox, it means ox, the cow. It means everywhere everywhere. This was like Vedic knowledge in front, which is also in Scandinavia. So yeah, so this was about that, and PT has written the book Peace Saga in Origin, or Peace Gita in English, and Peace Gita also in Swedish. There people can find the core essence of Vedic knowledge and wisdom for the present time and age, because the Vedic knowledge is distorted. So Prashant Trivedi has also made this book where we can find the Vedic knowledge for the current time, so we can understand better in the modern time. And also about the divine multiversal laws, Vedas, Vedic system of knowledge, and that's all about. Okay, do you have something which do you want to say?
No, I think we had a good talk. I'm thinking, yeah, we spoke about Äger, Odin, and
Or
Thor, and but we didn't talk about Loki.
oh yes.
Loki, who is the brother of the ocean, and he's the brother of the wind.
Mm-hmm.
But he mixes his blood with from Odin.
Yes.
And so he can walk on Bifrost. He can be in both of the worlds. He can be with the giants, and he can be in with the with the Aesirs.
Yes.
And there is a story when Loki is on the island called Läsö, a Norwegian island that is geographically very interesting because it has been created by the currents. It's a sand island, and that it's called Lokes flyting, or Loke Enna, and that's the beginning of Ragnarök. The beginning of the fight between the giants and the Devas and the Asuras, or Mahabharat, you can say. It's it's the beginning of Mahabharat when when Loki, he's fed up with the Aesirs. He thinks that they have become too proud and too bragging about their knowledge and how successful they are.
Yes.
So he goes and makes fun out of all of them, and he's thrown out. And this is the beginning of Mahabharat.
Very good point. Very good point. And yes, Mahabharat and the epic, Bhagavad Gita and all these epic ancient stories. They are very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. It's amazing.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, Axel, this was very, very interesting.
Yes.
We've covered a lot. We've seen so many similarities of Norse mythology and Vedic, the Vedic roots in Norse mythology.
Yes, and we have it on record also.
Yeah, we have it on record in English also, so people can learn many things, because these things we are talking about, I mean, you cannot find in all the books.
And it can become very tiresome with all these stories and so on.
Yeah.
And nowadays people we don't have the full stories. They are not written completely, and they are not spoken completely. And when we tell the stories, we feel bad for not telling them completely as they are, and so on. So it's difficult math to go into to go into all these stories.
Yes, Exactly.
But it was good that we were able to cover so many fundamental things.
It was very good. Gratitude, Axel, for being here. And we will see you in other talks for sure.
I look forward to that.
Sessions, Lotus Social Meditation too, you're welcome.
Yes, I shall see you there.
Very nice. See you then. Gratitudes to PT also. Shiv Narayan.
Shiv Narayan.